If you're finding it hard to see through media bias, the opinions of people around you, and the overarching narrative, this video is for you. By the end of this video, if implemented, you will have the tools to clearly articulate what you want out of life, be able to succeed in academia, and be able to have clarity on the steps to take towards your goals and prioritizing. Surprisingly, critical thinking is not the end-all be-all, especially critical thinking as using a rigid process to come to a conclusion. But you can also use intuition and creativity in which you capture the essence of reality before language models and know the tools of information in which you can use to mold in order to reach your goals. Just like Nobel Prize winning physicist Roger Penrose says that the basic computations of your brain do run on rules, but subatomically your actual consciousness does not run on rules like that can be mathematically measured through a computer. Therefore, you're a special snowflake in which we can have unity within the absolute in which everything is made from. Just as a disclaimer, this does not replace any hard studies. Rather, it is more geared to people who want to utilize their knowledge, turn it into wisdom through action, and really understand the interconnectedness of everything. Before we move on with the video, I want to share a quote that I made up because it drew inspiration from when I was studying physics, neuroscience, and a whole bunch of other studies, and how I'm going to apply it to my videos and in life in general. True understanding is a delicate balance between hard logic and going to the source, the technical and the divine. The source is a wave frequency collapsed into matter. That second phase is the matrix. Here are 6 ways of understanding yourself, the world, and be able to pursue your goals efficiently and effectively using logic. In this first part of the video, I shall discuss the nature of learning and how to use your neurology to your advantage. So, the nature of learning. It is the brain's ability to do change and respond to stimuli through neuroplasticity in relation to your intention and subconscious processing. Many different neurologies interact with the world in different ways, and understanding that will help you schedule your day efficiently and effectively. By understanding abstractions and specificity and how much you need in order to engage your mind, how much chaos and how much order in order for you to play with the elements of the tools within your awareness. For example, people with ADHD probably needs more abstraction. They cannot as easily focus on some very narrow task. Rather, they would like some leeway in how they are interacting with the task. They probably want some creative work in which they can lay out and then organize it after. And they probably need a lot of novelty and variety within what they are doing. But maybe with autism, you need a lot of structure and specificity. Before understanding this, I felt like I was spinning my wheels. It didn't feel like I was going to get anywhere because I did not really know how much abstraction or specificity I needed in order for me to feel optimally engaged in the task. Before I was scheduling my days, I did not exactly know what to do. I was not researching and I did not have a process for what I was doing exactly. I kind of had tasks, but my brain would veer to something else. Even if I had the task right in front of me, it feels like maybe this task was more important. So the day before, I did plan my day with very much specificity, and I would try to get to understand abstractions like consciousness and break it down as much as possible and also meditate on it. Here is the next section, finding meaningful metrics and being able to actually prioritize highest quality information and how to identify highest quality information. Prioritizing and finding meaningful variables, especially when applied, will help you find success in any given field. For example, in your personal and your professional life, if your goal is to make money, do not look for the thing itself, rather the prerequisites and major variables that contribute to it. If you want to make money, go to things like maybe health, relationships, and your strong why before you do something that takes a lot of energy to plan and execute. This leads into the next section. If you prioritize everything, then you prioritize nothing. For example, if you're at university and you want to become a doctor, do not just study everything all at once. You're going to have to find the most common causes and the most common contributors to a certain disease or illness. If you do not do that, you'll be drowned by information that may be too rare. At first, you'll be confused exactly why certain information is important in relation to what you are studying. That is why you need collaboration, and collaboration with the people whom are masters at their field, or just people who are doing very well. We're on to the next section already. The next section is gathering reliable information and seeking factors against your point of view. So what is the importance of all of this? Okay, number one, you'll actually have a lot better mental health because you'll understand the psychology of the people around you, how the words are distorting reality, and what are the words in relation to reality, how the psychology in relation to reality, how much there is a contrast between that. And through observing that, you'll be able to find the most factual information, the best information, and the most useful information to innovate and reiterate towards your goals. There is this app called Shortform, which is not a sponsor of this video. I'm just a new creator. But you'll be able to understand decision making and being able to identify the most biased information, like paid articles. Sometimes even primary sources can be biased because they are paid by different companies to have research. And there's also secondary and tertiary. By reading that, you'll be able to identify the three and you can come to a conclusion yourself. Here's the second last section. Hold on for a bit. This is applying critical thinking in your everyday life and effective problem solving. The issue that I want to raise is that when you're having conversations with people and they bring up a topic and you're wondering, I do not know the evidence, I do not have access to the actual primary source where it came from, I do not know what the validity is. So we need to actually educate yourself on certain topics and say, I don't know, when there is no evidence in which is in your realm of consciousness. Doesn't mean you're denying it. It just means that you don't know. Applying critical thinking in everyday life is very important in order to understand your inner world and evaluate all that's around you. If you evaluate yourself and what is around you, you'll be able to understand how to release the resistance you have towards something, release the procrastination, and be able to clarify and organize everything properly. We also have to raise the question, is this worth my time? Is this conversation worth my time? If it is worth my energy, if it is really negative. If you're just having fun, that is okay. But if it is something that is of a negative conversation, you're going to have to Be careful of what goes into your mind. It doesn't mean you have to avoid negativity. It just means you have to focus on things that are worth your time and things that are worth solving. Here's an important question to raise. What ideological position have you or I been sticking to that is holding me back from actually forming my mind to what the truth is completely? Maybe you probably cannot find the true truth in which you can know everything, but you can actually be able to get close to it by forming your own opinion of the facts in which you see, and then forming a hypothesis, and then reiterating after a conversation and seeing if that evidence is supported. This is important for your mental health and being able to be cognitively flexible, just like BDNF or brain drive neurotrophic factor. That is an important neurochemical in being able to change your opinions often, being able to get away from addiction, because that neurochemical helps you become more cognitively flexible and able to change. Okay, this is the last section. The last section is growth mindset for clear thinking. Growth mindset meaning your positions can change. Growth mindset means that your skills are not fixed, that your knowledge and ability to learn is not fixed. It is called neuroplasticity. It is your brain's ability to change in accordance to your environment. So if you consistently reiterate and have the habit of critical thinking and consistently reiterate on your actions also, your positions and your actions, you'll eventually find success in whichever domain you are pursuing and be able to have a fulfilling life eventually. Thank you and wish you health and happiness.